Hello, Factorio people. Welcome back to the reverse mega base. We're going to kick off where we left off, which is a phrase, apparently, by making the satellites. We made the solar panels, the accumulators, and the radars that go into the satellites. And now we're going to make the satellites. What I realise that I've done here is, it's fine. I was going to say, like, why do I fill them up in a train? Only to have them... If I'm going to put the satellite module thing here, which I am almost certainly going to do. One day I'll remember that these are here. Then does it not make more sense to just have them come down on a belt? I think the answer to that is probably no, just because you may want to move them somewhere else at some point. My cat has instantly started meowing, although she can't get into the room. It's just when I start talking to myself she gets a bit like, what on earth is going on there? Oh, there's a big uranium patch here. There's probably a mod setting to turn off. And in fact, I'm sure somebody commented on this as well, that there is a setting for it, but I think what we'd rather do is... I was going to say get the editor out and get rid of it. But there's a far more exciting way. Oh, you're telling me that doesn't work? Or was that all the water I had? Are they... It's in my hub, I know it is. I've never thought about the fact that waterfill might not go over resources. I had to sneeze there, sorry. No, it is going to take it away. It is going to take it away. My cat has come to sit on my lap. It's just odd that it didn't do... Well, maybe it did, and I... Yeah, no, it did. Of course it did. It did these ones straight away, didn't it? I just, I'm strange. Right. While that's going, there is an editor command, a command line command that you can do to just edit uranium, or anything, in fact. But I didn't want to get the wiki out and do it. Right. Satellites. We established last time that we need a very, very few satellites, to the tune of like 4 a minute. There we go. There's your build. This will overproduce vastly. But we can sort that by... Let's just get the build sorted. It does seem overkill, doesn't it, to give it its own... We could actually do it here, because we only need to bring in 3 more ingredients, and I did make this little tight design here. But I don't want 9 trains coming into one station. That is a recipe for disaster. I know there's not functionally much difference than 9 trains coming in here, than there are 6 here and 3 here. You're adding an extra train as well, because this train has to move around. But I think it's going to be fine. Train congestion is something I have planned to deal with at some point in the future. There you go. There's a tiny little bit left. I think that's everything. Cool. So let's get this little build done. It's an extremely little build. Like, oh lord. We can repurpose our single... Oh no, I've been playing shapes. Can repurpose this little doohickey, can't we? No real reason to put them as squeezed together as possible, but also no real reason to not do that. I'll put them as far apart as the power poles will allow. Although this one, it doesn't need to be this, because this will be where the radars and such like come in. So let me also copy this, just to make sure that it's the same. Or at least the same-ish. Of course, it's not going to be the same, because I deliberately put the spacing the wrong way around. I never understood the complaints from people about the Ghost Planner not doing what they want. It's fine. It always works. And I know that does sound like sarcasm on my part, but it's not. Oh, the Ghost Rail Planner, it's not very good. It's fine. What are you talking about, mate? This train will be a 1-3 train. So that goes there and then there. Strangely. Of all things. I suppose this one should still be here, I guess. I probably need to start putting a chain signal like here for every single one. Because otherwise the next chain signal is here. Oh no, I have put a chain signal there. I don't know. Let's not get distracted. That's really not what I thought would happen there when I deleted those. Where is it? What bit is actually wrong? This bit is wrong. No, it's happened again. My design, it is not good. There we go. This bugs me as well. Very much would like to change that in the master blueprint. Oh! How could you do this to me? It's low density structures, rocket fuel and processing units. We make only the processing units. No, sorry, that's wrong. We make only the rocket fuel. That is in fact all we make. So we do have to set these up for low density structures. And processing units. Research completed. Technology, mining productivity, and it's automatically requeued the next one, 55. This is going to take an hour and 26 minutes. We should... No, it's not we should. It would be nice if this were higher than 55. It's not, because ultimately, we've not really been playing this save file for very long. It's only been 35 hours, which is not a long time for anyone who knows anything about how long this game takes to play. Wow, that's kind of annoying, isn't it? 35 hours to be getting to 5,000 sites per minute is not a long time. So you would be on a very high level of mining productivity before you even got this far. Okay, right, now we've sorted this nonsense out. it's an actual for-real train down. What I also want to start doing is this. Having the filter inserter remove the excess fuel, the empty fuel tanks, and we'll just have that. Oh. Oh. There's no room. Because I've put my balancer here. Wowzers. Also, what signal is making that ticking noise? That's kind of frustrating, isn't it? That would have been a prime comment for somebody to make. Excuse me, streamer, how are you going to fuel your trains? And I would have been, oh yeah, good point. Well done to you. But alas, that didn't happen. You all failed. Viewer count is down, and I'm not surprised by that due to having some time off for the break. You know what YouTube viewers are like, they're a fickle bunch. Is this going to go anywhere in here now? It's going to go there. Would I rather it just go here instead? I would have to change this underground. Whereas if it just goes here like that, that's probably much more sensible. What about on the other side? Obviously, it's not going to make any difference at all. Oh, I wish I could hold control to do copy. It's not like control click does anything when your cursor's empty, at least. No. No, I'm just sour grapes. I also forgot to do this bit. Yes, so I want to also start getting to the habit of removing the empty fuel from the trains just so that it makes sense going forwards, because that will be the system. And that will be fewer trains that I have to... fewer train stations that I have to worry about sorting out. And now I need to do exactly the same thing here. It's been a funny old couple of weeks for... Well, I say funny old couple of weeks. This is the ultimate thing with me losing my job. Is that it all happened so bloody fast. I recorded that episode on last... what was it? This is episode 26. So I recorded episode 24 on the Tuesday. Went to work on the Wednesday, everything was fine. Went to work on the Thursday, got told that Saturday would be our last day. Spent Sunday and Monday just sort of like, oh, okay. I guess that's happened to me. And today's Tuesday. You, please. This is rocket fuel. Into satellites, which is a production task. So then you go until full, and then here until empty. Go. Press play before you realise you're stood on the tracks. Or after. Both are good. Oh, right, and then another one. Oh no, this can be slightly different. Like this. You are called this. Solar panels, accumulators, radars into satellites. Train for you exists already. You are there. Okay, so we have to add a slightly different weight condition here. So you want item count, 3 lots of item counts, all on and the solar panels, you'll get 2,000 in that first wagon, I believe. Let me just double check that. 2,000, yep. And accumulators, whoops, equals. Greater than or equals. I mean, you can never be too sure. Greater than or equals 2,000. It's always good to just, you know. What if they changed the stack sizes of solar panels one day to 210? And then it never equals 2,000 because, anyway, radars 2 stacks greater than or equal to or 100. And then just go, once you've got that sorted, go to here until you're empty is fine. So that's all good. You just go somewhere. It's nice to get this sort of thing. Oh god. It's nice to get this sort of thing up and running so that your buffer is fully populated. So like this wagon is actually smaller than this chest, which, you know, we don't like to talk about that. So that means that this train is actually going to leave and come back once, even though this amount of rocket fuel in the train, in the boxes, on the belt, in the assembler will last like an hour. But this is one of the things I want. I don't want to, you know, bury the lead. But this is one of the things we're going to talk about in the train episode. Is that the train doesn't really need to come back here for quite some time. And it wouldn't be too difficult for me to set up a circuit condition for that. Oh, Christ. But I don't know. I don't know. It's the kind of thing I probably should have thought about straight away, because now I'm going to have to just go back to every single train station and do it, but whatever. It's a copy-paste job. Alright, how are these trains going to work? How are we going to unload these trains? It really doesn't make much difference. Do we have to be careful of having this all be unbalanced? Not really. 2,000 solar panels will make 20 satellites. 100 radars will make 20 satellites. I don't think there's any danger of unloading it unevenly. other than... As long as we don't do anything silly here, like accidentally pick up some of these. Yeah, because these are all the radars we need to empty these out, so it's going to be fine. But yeah, now the issue I've got is that I shouldn't have done this. Now this train is not going to be balanced, because I'm going to take away some of these by doing it like this. Ugh. Whatever. Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're around the wrong way. Doesn't matter that I picked up some of those. Alright, so that will get to work. And then we need a simple train. How often do we want this train to move around? 4 a minute. This implies that I did it as a 2-2 train, so okay, sure. Oh, if I'm doing it as a 2-2 train, then why did I not make these twice as big? This will make 20 satellites, but... which is... oh, that's enough to that's only enough to fill half of this anyway. Oh, I should have thought about this. The problem I've got with that is that all of my calculations go all the way back to this, which makes 420 per minute, which is enough. So this train is going to be moving backwards and forwards a lot more than it needs to. But if I up the numbers on these, you run dangerously close to using more than one belt of something. Oh no, the radars overproduce. Oh, I didn't count the radars anyway. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Put it on the ladder base. Stick it on the ladder base. Right. Satellite output. We will use an inserter for this for reasons that will become clear in a moment when I decide. 20 rocket launchers will last for a minute. 20 rocket launchers will last 5 minutes. Is that right? Must be. 3.6 a minute. I suppose I could put a buffer here. No, just leave it. Just leave it, mate. Just leave it. We'll go back. We'll just say that this is going to be a 1-1 train. And we'll just change this. We'll just change it. Not you, not you. So I don't want to massively overproduce satellites, is the point. I don't want a whole belt satellites. Wasting time and resources. Because this would... each section of this could hold 4 satellites if only use one half of it. So that's a lot. So you want to stop this inserter from outputting satellites when... I mean, that's a train load in the buffer. So when the buffer has a full train load, so then the train can just stop, pick them all up, go, and then while that train is unloading, this can then start unloading satellites. I mean, that might be overkill. Let me guess, you don't reach, do you? You do if I do that. Oh, there's all of these little bloody things are gonna start piling up soon. This is how it turns into a mess. This is how it turns into a mess. I wish that reached as well. I mean, I could make it reach if I change this, but if I change this, then I have to start my train unloading again, which might just honestly be easier at this point. Just call this one a write-off, start from scratch. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to remove some of these belts and then this will be uneven. Let me turn this to manual and we'll set one lot off going and then we'll sort it. Or I could just ignore it and just do it like this, but so you only work when the signal coming from this box is satellites less than or equal to 40. No, just less than 40. Just less than 40. Not equal to 40. So this will go for a while. Oh, I can't believe that's not making them that quickly. Well, we only use 4 a minute, so it doesn't matter that it's not running all the time, but I'm honestly surprised. Can't prod module it just before anyone asks. I mean, this is making one, like... as long as it's making more than one every 15 seconds, we're golden. They only stack to 1. Okay, this is satellites outbound. You go from satellites outbound, wait until you're full, and then you go to satellites to optimization tech cards. Alright, so this is fully empty now, right? These are all exactly perfectly 0. And this train is completely perfectly empty. Way across, like way across. It doesn't it doesn't even need to cross the tracks. Like, I could just build it here in direct contravention of everything we stand for here on this channel. This pylon will now reach there, so then now this doesn't need to be here because this will reach. So then this can go, so that tidies that up somewhat. And then this needs to go back on here. That keeps the rule And you can continue. Do I want this to unload faster than that? Possibly. For this to run at full capacity, it needs over a belt of each one. I don't care. Hope we make them faster than we use them. That's an interesting question. So that made exactly 20 satellites. Let's let's go. No, let's not go. Let's go, but let's walk there. And we'll remove the... I think I removed the infinity chest already, in fact, so we'll just make sure that the local network is doing what I want before that train arrives. The local logistics network. Because I'm not moving the satellites around by belt here. I have decided that as part of... because each little module is going to have its own logistics network anyway, I may as well... Does this not have power? Oh, because this power pole is connected to this, but this power pole itself is not actually connected to anything else. Alright, we'll put it there. So this is where... oh, it's manually stopped. Better put you towards automatic, that would help. So all you need to do is just unload into a yellow box. And make sure that you are called satellites. And so then the logistics robots in the network should... thankfully there's a backlog of cards here. There's not... oh, my space science is overproducing, so I've got a backlog of space research data here for... oh, the satellites came, I wasn't even paying attention. Guys, really? I overproduce. These have been running full tilt for ages. How much does they actually make? 3.1 what? No, my average is... basically I need to know when I need to stop making the cards so that the satellites don't get wasted. 3,600 per minute. Is there any... I was going to say, is there ever any danger of this happening? Yes. The design principles here are such that we want it to run infinitely without any input. I want to be able to go to bed at night, sleep for my regular 16 hours, wake up and check the factory, and find everything to be okay. Oh, I have done that already. Oh yeah, I did that already. Why could I not see this red wire? I was like, oh, I clearly have not done anything because I haven't put a circuit condition here, but I have. We don't insert satellites into the rocket silos if there is more than 35,000 space science backed up. Wow, I'm so clever. I was going to say that should be one of the first things I ever did with that. So how's this going now? Satellites are still a bit slow. But I don't think it matters. Yeah, I mean, the average needs to be down here at like 4 per minute. It does go up and down as the train, presumably as the train leaves and goes. You know, there probably should be a buffer. There probably should be a buffer of accumulators, and at least of the accumulators and of the solar panels. Or I should have realised this initially and made the train big enough to bring 40. That's probably what I need to do. That is probably what I need to do. This needs to be a 5-1 train with 2 wagons of solar, 2 wagons of accumulators, and this final wagon just have space for 200 radars. But I don't know if I can do that straight away. So like, this is not working, is it? This is actually too slow. How have I gotten this so wrong? Like, this has just stopped dead now. Oh my days. Ah, I'm annoyed at myself. I got this so wrong. No, I did all the numbers to make exactly 4 satellites per minute. That's what I've done. So like, there are still 18 satellites in the network here, which will last another 4 minutes. So then in 4 minutes this will be full. And there are already 20 satellites in the train ready to go. Turns out this circuit condition is not necessary because this train is basically just going to always be picking them up. It's probably a bit overkill. Alright, I think it's fine. It's not wrong, it's just for some reason I've built it like very close to what it needs. There's very little room for error here on any of this. I could speed this up, but it doesn't achieve much. All that's happening is that this train becomes full kind of precisely when it needs to become full. So the 20 satellites make their way here. There's 12 left now. Ooh, it's going to be tight. I believe this to work. How's this going? We do need to double this up because we don't make enough uranium-238 here. This actually only gets us 2,500 of the requisite 5,000 that we need. It goes into purple science. This one. Oh, 3,700. Okay, well I can double it up. Once I double it up, then I'll be vastly overproducing. 238, which means that the... This is wrong. That's wrong. Sort that out, would you? Sort it out later. Alright, so that train has gone. Satellites are being produced. Slowly but surely. The buffer here wouldn't actually solve any issues, would it? Because this inserter is unloading as fast as it can anyway. This doesn't solve any problems. It unloads the belt quicker. It makes the satellites quicker, but it just means that this train goes back here to load a lot earlier than it needs to. Like by the time it gets back here, it's going to be waiting for even longer here rather than waiting longer here. But at least it gets the satellites out the door quickly. So this should be satellite number 40. Boom. And so then the number of satellites here should be 4. That is close, but correct. Because there's also 1 each here ready to go. So as soon as these inserters go, these 4 will come out. Oh boy, what's wrong with you? Why are you so out of sync? Here I am. I could unload this faster by using a logistics container or a logistics warehouse. But there we go. Suddenly 40 satellites ready to go. Alright, we'll call that a win. We'll call that a win. I'm going to make this one slightly shorter today just because I kind of didn't think that that would take me 40 minutes, but a lot needed double checking and then re-double checking. And I can't think of anything else to do in the interim bit of time. So a kind of a short one today. I hope that's okay for you. You remember I bought my new monitor a couple of weeks ago? I mentioned I got my new monitor. I have plugged the second monitor in. I cleared some space in my room to have the second monitor on. I got rid of an old TV that I had that was plugged into a PS4 and a Switch that I hadn't used in about 9 months. There we go, fixed that issue. So Covarex will stop now, but that's fine. So I've got my second monitor up so I can actually see OBS telling me that I'm not on mute and that I've been recording for 43 minutes and various other cool, interesting things like that. Isn't that good? Your boy is a professional YouTuber now. No, of course not. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like and a comment to say you're having a good time. And if you want to see more of the reverse Krastorio 2 Megabase, be sure to subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.